Today, I would like to welcome you to the fourth video in a 6-part series, which will show you the absolute best way to capture, edit, and then upload game clips to YouTube in the highest possible quality, so they come out looking just like the clips from the professional YouTubers out there that we all enjoy watching so much. We'll be capturing game clips in 1080p, 60 FPS, both with and without chat recording, using a laptop and the Elgato HD60 game capture card. I'll be showing you how to do a fast, high quality edit and explaining which settings to use to render those game clips out in Sony Vegas, and then covering how to upload those same clips to YouTube using custom thumbnails, tags, descriptions, and the titles that you'll need for a professional result. In this fourth video, I'll be showing you how to record your friends' voices alongside your own voice in a party chat using software like OBS, Skype, TeamSpeak, or in the Elgato software itself. This setup is good to use for funny or trolling style videos, clan practice, or when you just want to get everyone involved and record the whole thing. And to top it all off, I'll show you how to get a webcam in the mix before we head into editing in the next video. Straight up, if you watch this series from start to finish, you're going to know everything you need to know about game capturing, editing, and uploading with various setups to get some legit results. So stay locked, ask any questions or request tutorials in the comments below, crush that like button, and yeah, I hope it helps. What is currently happening YouTube? Facepalm here, your friend in Oz and NZ, bringing you reviews, tutorials, and game clips, minus the shit. You can follow me on Twitter at Facepalm with a 1, not an L. As for here on YouTube, if you like what you find, then like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to bring your game face. Let's get it done. So in the first video, I ran through the lineup of every video in this series. Instead of going through that again, you can just click one of the links on screen to take you to the other videos, should you need them. I do recommend though that you watch these videos in order to get the most out of them, as the setups in the later videos rely on the setups in the videos that come before them. In particular, this video. So let's get straight into part 4. Record all voice party chat and webcam with our Elgato HD60, OBS, Skype, or TeamSpeak, plus listening to music while gaming. So again, for this video, I'll be using a PS4 as an example, but the same settings and rules will apply to your Xbox One or gaming PC. First, I'm going to show you how to record your voice and all of your friends' voices in a party chat. To do this, you will need to be using one of the wired or wireless headphones and microphone setups I described in the previous videos in the series. And if you are using a wireless headphone and microphone setup like the Astros or Turtle Beach series, for this to work, those headphones will have to have a mix amp or USB transmitter that has both an optical or Toslink input, which look like these, that sends your PS4 game audio, and a USB cable that can send and receive chat audio at the same time to your laptop for the voice to be recorded. So the Astro A40s with the Mix Amp Pro can do this, the Astro A50s with the Mix Amp Pro can do this, the Turtle Beach Stealth 400 headphones can do this, and there are a handful of other wireless headphones that can actually do this. To find out if your headphones or the headphones you are looking to buy will work here, just go to the website of the manufacturer that makes those headphones and download the manual. And there will be a picture or a mention in there somewhere if those headphones have both that optical or Toslink input as well as a USB input output. If you get stuck, hit me up in the comments below and I'll try and help you out. So you have 4 different options when recording voice chat with your game clips. And of these 4 options, the first 2 options can be done with either a wired or wireless headphone setup, but the last 2 options can only be done with the wireless headphone setup we used in the previous videos. So option 1, you may want to record all your friends' voices in the lobby in sync with the game clips you capture, but record your voice separately so you have the added flexibility of turning your own voice up or down later on. We'll set this one up first as it doesn't require any extra software aside from the Elgato software we're using already, and once it's set up, the other options will only require 1 or 2 settings to be changed. So option 2, you may want to record all the party chat like I just mentioned, but this time have your voice automatically mixed in with the game video, audio, and all your friends' voices. In this setup, you won't be able to change the volume level of your voice after it's recorded, but this can be a good option if you want to save time and if you're confident that your voice recording levels are set right. I don't use this setup much, but it can be good for practice sessions when you aren't going to upload to YouTube, and so you don't need to edit it all independently. And again, no extra software is needed aside from the Elgato software we're using already. Option 3, you may want to record your voice reacting to your friends' voices, but not actually being able to hear your friends coming through on your video. This is good if you don't want a whole lot of voices cluttering up your video and you just want to record your reactions. I can tell you right now that this is done simply by removing your friends' voices from the next setup that I'll mention, which is option 4. Recording game video and audio, your voice and all your friends' voices all separately, and have the option of playing music in the background on our laptop at the same time as we are gaming. In this setup, our game video and audio will be recorded through the Elgato software, and we'll be using 3 pieces of free software on our laptop, either TeamSpeak or Skype to chat to our friends, another small program to send chat to our recording software, and then the recording software itself, which is the OBS multi-platform software, which records our voice and our friends' voices separately. This is the most flexible option when it comes to editing, as you can balance the levels of every sound and person's voice independently, giving us the best chance at getting a truly professional result. So there are really only 2 methods we can use to accomplish the 4 options I just mentioned. The first method involves using either a chat link cable from Elgato or buying a handful of small cables from eBay or Amazon and rigging up your PS4 or Xbox controller to the Elgato to record party chat. But the end result of this setup is very low quality, and if you're looking to make really decent caliber YouTube videos, that method is just nah. And because of that, we're going to give it a miss. The second method is just to simply take the microphone and wired or wireless headphone setups we hooked up in the last video, which will already be recording our own voice, and add a second microphone to this setup so that we can send our voice to our friends at the same time so they can hear us talk. This is definitely the road that I suggest you go down. So first, make sure that if you're using the wireless headphone setup, that the USB cable from your wireless headphones transmitter or mix amp should be plugged into the laptop you're capturing your game clips to, and not your console. Then all you're going to do is plug a second USB mic or another lav mic and Logitech USB to 3.5mm adapter into your PS4 or Xbox USB port. This will be the mic that sends your voice to your friends so they can hear you chat. Now, let's set up the PS4 menus. Go into your console settings, and under the devices menu, go to your audio devices and set the input device to the USB mic that is plugged into your PS4. This will send your voice through the USB microphone you just plugged into the console to your friends so they can hear you talk. Make sure that under the output device it says TV or amplifier. On the Xbox One, this will be under display and sound settings menu, and instead of TV or amplifier, I think it will say HDMI or something. Also, make sure that if you're using one of the wireless headphone setups, you go back out to the settings menu, go to sound and screen, choose audio output settings, click on primary output port and choose digital out optical, and then choose Dolby Digital 5.1 if your headphones support Dolby Sound, or linear PCM if they don't. If you're using a wired headphone setup, leave it set to HDMI. You can also reverse the Turtle Beach or Astro headset and USB mic setup to use the headset's mic to chat with friends and your USB mic to record your voice in the Elgato software instead. To do this, just plug the USB cable from your Astro's mix amp into your console's USB port. Then go over to your console's menu, go to settings, then go devices, audio devices, and change your input device to your headset's microphone, for example, Turtle Beach or Astro, and then set your output device to TV or amplifier. For the Xbox One, this will again be under the display and sound menus where I think it says HDMI. At this point, if you go back out to the settings menu and go sound and screen, choose audio output settings, click on primary output port and choose digital out optical, and choose Dolby Digital 5.1 if your headphones support Dolby Digital sound again. If they don't, just untick that box. Now plug your other USB mic into your laptop and go into the Elgato software. Under the live commentary section, click the drop down menu and select your USB microphone. If these settings don't work straight away, keep everything plugged in, restart your console and your laptop, and then go back into the console's menu and the Elgato's menu and make sure those settings are how I just described. Now you'll be good to go. Now you can go into your console's main menu and create a party, and then invite friends to that party chat. Once you have invited or added the friends you want involved in the chat, it's a good idea to balance the level of everyone's voices that is being recorded. So let's go on over to the party settings and then to adjust audio mix. Get your friends to all talk, and while you are doing that, look over to the Elgato software and make sure that the game audio isn't hitting the red. If it is hitting the red, you can either change the balance of your non-party audio, which is the sounds from the game, and your party audio, which is your friends' voices, by adjusting this slider here. Alternatively, if one person is too loud in your party, just ask them to go back out to their settings menus, and under devices, audio devices, they can adjust their microphone level. Once you've struck a good balance, look back over to your Elgato software and readjust your slider so that you can get a good green level that's not hitting the red. To be fair, you're probably going to need to balance the adjust audio mix slider in the party settings on your PS4 and the volume slider in the Elgato software as you game until you get a good setting that you're happy with. Bear in mind here that if you can't seem to pick up your friends' voices in the chat audio and the recording, ask them to go to their party settings and under allow your voice to be shared, get them to check that always allow box and make sure that that's selected. At this point, you will be able to capture game clips like I mentioned in the second video in the series with your voice recordings we set up in the third video in the series, but this time all your friends' chat audio will be included and they'll be able to hear you talk. Just make sure that the live commentary audio button is glowing down here at the bottom, as this is what will be recording your voice. So, as I mentioned before, you have a few different options when it comes to recording your voice chat. For example, option 1, where you may want to record everyone in a party chat and be able to change the volume of your voice later in editing. Well, this is the way we have everything set up now. And you'll find that if you capture a clip and then go over to the Edit tab and hit the MP4 button, you'll end up with 2 clips that pop up in our default videos folder. One clip will be the game audio and video with your friends' voices mixed in with that, and the other one will be an audio file of just your voice. Why is this? Well, remember under the Global Game Capture HD Preferences menu, under the Sharing tab, we tick the Live Commentary audio box underneath Export to Separate Files. Well, this is what is happening. Our live commentary audio, aka your voice, is being exported to a separate file from the game audio and your friends' voices, which is mixed together here when we hit that MP4 button. This is great as it allows us to rebalance our own voice in editing if we need to. But what if we don't need to? What if we want to take option 2, where you just want to record everything together, hit that MP4 button, and everything comes out as one completed clip, ready to upload to YouTube or watch back later? Well, to do that, go back to the Global Game Capture HD Preferences menu, under the Sharing tab, and tick the Live Commentary audio box underneath Mix the following tracks to exports, and voila! All audio and video will be mixed together into one file when you hit that MP4 button. I would say here though that if this is how you have it set up, make sure all your volume levels are balanced how you want them before you start recording, because you won't be able to change them later on. You'll also notice in this menu that you have the same option to tick those boxes for the webcam, and again the same rules apply to that also, but I'll show you how to add a webcam in a minute. Now, what if we wanted to use option 3, where we could chat to our friends in-game but only have our voice come through on the video? Well, you would simply remove their voice from the final setup, which I'm about to describe. So first, make sure that the USB cable from your wireless headphones transmitter or mix amp should be plugged into the laptop you are capturing your game clips to, and not your console, which then brings me to option 4. What if we want to record everything separately so we have total control later on, and have music playing in the background on our laptop while we are gaming? Well, this is actually one of my favorite setups, but this is where it can get complicated to explain, but it's actually really simple to do. Because of that, I'm not going to talk you through the ins and outs of how everything works. I'm just going to show you how to get it working. So for this setup to work, you can only use the wireless headphone and microphone setup we completed in the first and third videos in the series that have an optical audio input and a USB connection to your laptop that supports audio such as the Astro A40s, A50s, or Turtle Beach Stealth 400s. Also, before I run you through this particular setup, I need to mention that you won't be using the party chat on your PS4 or Xbox. You'll be using Skype or Team Chat to speak, which means that to chat to your friends while you are gaming, they are going to need Skype or TeamSpeak also. And because of all this, it's better to set this all up before you get online with your friends. And I'd suggest creating a second Skype account on a mobile phone that will pretend to be your friends chatting to you. That way you can take your time getting this right instead of annoying your mates. Or if you've got a really patient friend, don't worry about it, just get them to Skype call you and they can be your practice run. So now that is all out of the way, all you're going to need to get this done is 3 pieces of free software. So here we'll be using 1 piece of software to chat to our friends, like Skype or TeamSpeak. We'll need 1 piece of software called a virtual cable that sends all the chat audio from Skype or TeamSpeak to both your headphones and at the same time to your recording software. And then we're going to need that actual recording software to record it all. For this, we'll be using OBS Studio, which used to be called OBS Multi-Platform. So first, let's get the software we need. So for the chat part, go ahead and download Skype or TeamSpeak and create an account if you haven't done this already. I actually find Skype much more straightforward for this setup, and so I'll use it here. But the same settings apply to TeamSpeak. Then we need the software that sends all our voice chat into our headphones and the recording software at the same time. So for this, you're going to go to Google and search for VB audio cable. When this page loads up, make sure you're on the virtual audio cable tab and go down to here where it says VB cable driver donationware and click the download button. This single virtual cable is actually free, so don't worry about the donationware part. You'll only need to donate if you need more than 1 of these, which we would if we were streaming, but we're not for now, so just grab this free single virtual cable. Once it's downloaded, right-click the file and extract all. This will give us a folder which has the installer in it. So go on down to the 2 VB cable setup files, right-click and choose Run as Administrator to install our virtual cable. If you're using the 64-bit version of Windows, you'll need the one that says x64, or if you are on 32-bit Windows, then you'll need the other one. To find out whether you're on 32 or 64-bit Windows, then just hit up Google. Once that virtual cable is installed, you must restart your computer for it to work properly. So do that straight away. Once your computer has restarted, we can get our OBS software. So if you Google OBS, you'll get this pop up and it will take you to the Open Broadcast Software page. Now, you'll immediately see 2 options to download here. You're going to need the one on the right, which is OBS Studio, as this lets us record our voice and our friends' voices separately. So download the one for whichever versions of Windows or Mac you're on, and once that's downloaded, go to the location it downloaded to and right-click on the file and choose Run as Administrator. Now, you might get a little pop-up message in Windows 10 that says Windows protected your PC or that this software is untrusted, but everybody uses this and it's clean as, so just click the More Info button and choose Run anyway. Follow the prompts and install it, and once that's all done, we're going to change a few quick settings in Windows and we'll be good to go. So open up Skype and go to Tools, Options, and then click the Audio Settings tab. Set the microphone to whatever microphone you're using to chat to your friends so they can hear you talk, i.e. your Astro, Turtle Beach, USB adapter or USB mic, and then set the speakers to cable input, VB virtual audio cable. This will tell Skype to send your friends' voices out of Skype and into the virtual audio cable. Also, untick these automatically adjust microphone and speaker settings boxes. Then head on over to the Sounds tab and click Mute All Sounds. This will stop notification noises coming through onto your videos. So now that our chat audio has been sent out of Skype and into the virtual audio cable, let's tell the virtual audio cable to send that chat audio into our headphones so we can hear our friends talk, and at the same time into our OBS Studio recording software so we can record it all. So go back out to the taskbar on your laptop and right-click on the little speaker icon and choose Playback Devices. Here, click whichever headset you are using and then go down and click Set as Default. This will make sure that our game and chat audio is coming out of our headphones. See how I'm using the Turtle Beach headset? Well, that's the one I'll set as default. If you're using Astros or whatever, then that's the one that you would set as default. If Set as Default is grayed out here, then it's either already set as default or you're picking one of the wrong options. You'll also see our little virtual audio cable that we installed earlier, but just leave that as it is. It's fine, just chilling. So now head on over to the recording tab and make sure that whatever microphone you are using is set as default also. As I'm using the mic on the Turtle Beach headset, I'll choose that and click set as default. This will make sure the microphone is picking up your voice. Now to get the virtual cable sending our friends' voices into our headphones, go to our little virtual cable output and right click on that and choose properties. Click on the listen tab and tick the listen to this device box. Then under where it says playback through this device, choose the device you would like to hear your friends' chat voices played back through, i.e. the headphones that are on your head. In this case, it's going to be the same as we set as default back in the playback tab. In my example, the Turtle Beach Stealth 400s. At this point, if you talk into the microphone on your headset, you will see this little green bar moving next to our microphone, which is your voice. Then if we go back to the playback tab, whenever your friends talk, the cable input and speakers bars will glow green. If for some reason you can't hear your voice or your friends' voices, there are two possible things wrong here if you know your headphones aren't broken. One is that you haven't followed these steps correctly, so just go back and have a quick double check. The other option is that there is a button or volume dial or on your actual headphones that's not turned up or switched off. On most wireless headphones, there are heaps of buttons, and I've been known to switch the microphone off from the button on the actual headset accidentally without knowing it, and then sat there wondering why the fuck my mic isn't working. So yeah, check those. Now we want to sort out our voice recording software. So open up OBS Studio, as this is the recording software we will be using. Why OBS Studio? Well, it lets us record our voice and our friends' voices into separate channels, which we can split up easily when we're editing video. To do this, go to the Settings tab on the right and click the Output tab and change the Output Mode drop down to Advanced. In that same tab, click the Recording tab, set the Recording Format drop-down menu to MP4, then tick boxes 1 and 2 where it says Audio Track. Ticking these boxes will tell OBS to record both our voice and our friend's voice. Also take note of the recording path here, as this is where our recordings are being saved to. Now click on the Audio tab next to it and set the audio bitrate for all your tracks to 320 to make sure we're getting a high quality audio. Now go over to the Audio tab on the left, set the desktop audio device, which is our friends' chat voices, to cable input VB audio virtual cable. This tells the virtual audio cable to send our friends' voices into this OBS Studio software where they will be recorded. Then set desktop audio device 2 to disabled and set mic auxiliary audio device to the microphone that you are using on your headset, and then you can close down that menu. Now you'll see two entries here under mixer. One will be mic aux, which will be the recording your voice, and the other will be desktop audio, which will be your friends' voices from Skype. Underneath them, you're going to see these sliders, which let you adjust the volume of the recording of each of those, and also a mute button if you need it. Now, we can go on up to the Edit tab in the top left, click Advanced Audio Properties, scroll on over to where it says Track, and tick box 1 for desktop audio, and tick box 2 for mic aux. What this does is it tells the OBS software to record our voice onto track 2, and our friends' voices separately onto track 1, and that's it for our Skype and OBS software setup. So now let's make a final tweak in the Elgato software and we're good to go. So bear in mind here that because we will be recording all our audio streams separately and manually syncing everything up later, it's going to be practically impossible to use the flashback recording feature of the Elgato software with this method, as we would be spending more time syncing up all the little clips than we would actually doing anything else. Instead, we're going to record one big clip and then chop it all up later when we get to editing. So on that note, head to the Elgato software, go to the Global Game Capture HD Preferences menu, and under the Capture tab, untick the Enable Flashback Recording box. Now head on back out to the main capture window, and when you want to start recording, hit the big red record button in the Elgato software, and then go over and hit the Start Recording button in the OBS software also. Now that we're recording, the first thing you want to do is make it easier to sync up everything later on when you get to editing. So hold your actual PlayStation or Xbox controller up to your microphone phone and click the buttons loudly as you go through some menus on your console. That way, later on in our video editing software, you'll clearly see audio spikes from your controller's buttons clicking, which you can then line up with your PlayStation menus. Now record to your heart's delight until you're ready to stop. Once you are ready to stop recording, just hit the big red button in the Elgato software and the stop recording button in the OBS software. Back in the Elgato software, head on over to the Edit tab, click on the clip we have just recorded and hit the MP4 button to render that whole clip out to an MP4. Now the folder where your recordings were saved to, by default this should be your videos folder, should pop up and you'll see these two files. One will be the video and audio from the game captured in the Elgato software, and the other one will be your voice and your friends' voices recorded separately in the OBS software, but they will be mashed into one file. So how do we separate our voice from our friends' voices from this file? Well, when we drop this file into Sony Vegas, it will actually automatically split and you can change all the levels independent. And that is pretty cool. So with this setup, while you're recording your game clips and chat audio while gaming, you could actually have music playing in the background on your laptop the way you usually would through Windows Media Player or whatever, and it won't be recorded into the gameplay and it will come out your headphones. If you want to add it to your gameplay, then just add it later on in editing, which that'll be a much better way to do it anyways. Now, the last thing I want to show you for this video is how to quickly add a webcam to your video. This is really easy and there are two really simple ways we can do this, and I'm going to show you how to do both ways in the next few minutes. So one way is in the Elgato software and the other way is in the OBS software. Me, I prefer the Elgato software as the webcam is nicely synced with the game video and audio automatically. So with your webcam plugged into your laptop's USB port, go into the Elgato software and in the Global Game Capture HD Preferences menu, in the Capture tab, click the Enable Stream Command box. This will enable the webcam overlay in the software. Now head on over to the Sharing tab, and here you can either permanently mix your webcam in with your video by ticking this box, or you can keep it separate by ticking this box. This will allow you to resize or change the position of your webcam later on while you're editing, as it will be exported to a separate file, and I would actually recommend that you do this. Once you've made your decision of whichever way you want to do it, close out of that menu and then come on down here to where it says Stream Command and click this little triangle. Now you'll see a handful of scenes. These scenes are presets for the position of your webcam and graphic overlays, and if you click through them you'll see the position of the webcam and graphic overlays change. The first scene on the left here is a blank scene, so click on that and then come on over to the right and click Edit Scenes. So now that we're editing the blank scene that we selected, come over to this little square with a plus icon in it, which is our Add Overlay button. And the overlay we're going to be adding is a webcam. Note here that you can also insert an image from your computer, such as a border overlay with your name and branding on it, as well as a few other options. And you can also add multiple overlays if you want. For now though, let's add a webcam. You'll now see this little webcam window pop up. You can move this window around to wherever you like it, for instance this top right corner, or you can resize it or whatever. There are also a handful of other settings here, but you can play around with them yourself as they are all labeled and really self-explanatory. And that's it for the Elgato software. Now when you record a clip like this for instance, and then head on over to the Edit tab and hit the MP4 button, if you chose to mix your webcam into your video automatically back in the Global Preferences menu, then you'll get one file with your game video, audio and your webcam all mixed into one. If you chose not to mix your webcam with your video, which is generally the way I do it, you'll get two files. One with your game video and audio, and one with your webcam on it ready to drop into your editing software, which can then be resized and placed wherever you want it over your video. Now if we wanted to do the same thing in OBS Studio, all you're going to do is click this little plus icon down in the Sources tab and add a video capture device, then click OK. In the pop-up menu, select this drop-down menu and choose your webcam in here. Now in the preview window here, your webcam might be all good. If it is, then you're sweet, and you can use this configure video button to change the various settings of your webcam video, like brightness and contrast if you feel the need to. But if like me and your webcam shows up with some whack color scheme, what you'll need to do is go to this resolution FPS type drop down menu and choose custom. Now in this resolution drop down menu right here, you're going to set a custom resolution. Just pick the highest one, as this will give you the best quality. Under that, you can set a custom FPS. as we're using the Elgato HD60, which as I mentioned earlier actually records our gameplay at either 29.97 FPS or at double that rate, which is 59.94 FPS or frames per second, depending on if you had that allow 60 FPS box ticked in the device's settings menu, you'll want to set this to 29.97 either way, as this will keep your webcam recording at the same speed as your Elgato. Now, under video format, choose YUY2. This is the part that corrected the color of my webcam. Now you can close out of that menu and you'll see your webcam ready to record here, and you can move it around like this, or you can resize it if you want to. Now, because we'll be taking this and dropping it into our editing software as an overlay later on, we need to right click on the webcam here and go on down to transform, then choose stretch to screen. What this is going to do is make sure that our webcam takes up the whole screen, so that when we shrink it down later on in editing, it won't have any black bars at the top or bottom. Once that's all done, we can record our game clips as we usually would. Then once we have finished recording, if we go on out to our recording folder, which is by default our videos folder, we'll see our webcam recording here, ready to sync up with our game video, audio, and our chat recordings if we've got them. Now, there is one last thing I want to mention. There is sometimes a quirk when trying to drop recorded video from OBS into Sony Vegas where you just get a green screen showing up. So the way to fix that is when you are in Sony Vegas, right click on your clip and choose properties. Then on the general tab, scroll down to the bottom and take note of what it says under plugin. Note down the name you see here, which is likely going to be Compound Plug, and then close Sony Vegas. Don't just minimize it, actually close the software down. In Windows, go to this PC if you're on Windows 8.1 or higher, or it will be my computer if you're on Windows 8 or below, and go into the C drive. Then head on to Program Files and go down to the Sony folder and open up the folder that is the same as the version of Sony Vegas. In that folder, go down to File, IO Plugins, and locate the name of the folder that is the same as the plugin name that we noted down earlier in Sony Vegas. Mine was Compound Plug, so I'll click on it. You're going to rename it and rename that folder and put a G at the end of that name. Now, when you restart Sony Vegas, your webcam clips from OBS will be good to go. If not, you may need to restart Sony Vegas a second time, but it will work. So now you should have everything you need set up correctly to record our game clips, as well as all our chat recordings and also a webcam overlay. And we have the ability to play our own music in the background while we're gaming. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to edit these clips in Sony Vegas, which will include all the best settings to use to import and render out your game clips to get the best possible result. And a link will pop up in a second to take you directly to that video. So on that note, don't forget to smash the like button and comment below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching today's video. Just remember you can follow me on Twitter at facepalm with a 1, not an L. As for here on YouTube, if you like what you find, then like, comment, and subscribe. But don't forget to bring your game face. Facepalm out.